All right, so it looks like we got another major Jordan release restocking soon, as well as a Jordan Retro dropping tomorrow, which kind of feels like it came out of nowhere. But before we get into that, I gotta touch on this topic, which Bleacher Report, they recently put out the top 100 greatest NBA players of all time, a list which has stirred up a little bit of controversy. And quick spoiler alert, of course, Michael Jordan, he topped the list. But what everybody's talking about, you got Kobe Bryant, the legend, which he actually didn't happen to make the top 10, coming in at number 11, which personally, I would say it's almost blasphemy not to include Kobe in the top 10 greatest NBA players of all time. And coming up, I wasn't even a Kobe fan myself. I would say I was more of like a T-Mac type of guy. If you were around, you kind of know what I'm talking about. So when we take a look at the list, I guess everything else will be fine here. But, you know, we talk sneakers over here. So what if this list was actually ranked based off NBA players' sneakers? Do you guys feel like the list would change around? I know definitely at number one, MJ would remain. But as we take a look at these other people here on the list, we got some legends, some current NBA players. Do you guys feel like things would kind of mix up a little bit? As we take a look back at Steph Curry, y'all know he signed to Under Armour, which at the time, Under Armour wasn't even talked about, you know, as some of the top sneaker brands. But when they signed Steph Curry, he had kids out here lining up to get the Curry basketball sneakers. But as trends change, times change, Steph Curry may not be the hottest young player in the league anymore, and the kids are gravitating towards other athletes. And with the same thing happening, as Currys aren't as popular as they once were, it seems like the Under Armour brand is also not as popular as it once was. Is it kind of like they put everything into the Steph Curry brand, and now that these shoes aren't really selling like they were, there's been headlines about Under Armour stock falling, and they're no longer considered as one of like the top performance sneaker brands as they once were, say like 10 years ago. So that's kind of crazy to think of. On the other hand, you got LeBron James, which outside of MJ and Kobe might be one of the biggest signature lines that we've seen, you know, through Nike or Jordan brand. He actually started off with a bang with some of those early LeBron releases, but I would say kind of like maybe, I guess after like the 11, I kind of lost interest in the LeBrons, and it's crazy to see that we've came all the way to LeBron 21, which I would have to give them props though on these Prime 93 21s, because this is one that's definitely made a lot of noise. You know, the Prime 93 is a classic model, but them dropping them in low top form like this is definitely a dope look. The LeBron connection is cool, and you guys can look forward to these actually dropping in a couple of days, coming up here on July 17th. Now, as we take things into the past, of course, you got current stars like LeBron James, Steph Curry, but you also have legends such as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, which based off this list, he was coming in at number 3. We've seen Adidas bring back one of his classic models in the Adidas Jabbar. Now, I would say this model hasn't been a huge hit, but Adidas does continue to pump out new iterations of this model, such as this latest Willie Chavaveria, however you pronounce that, my bad, collaboration, which you guys see here with the low top version with the little strap on the top right there on the tongue. So those are cool or whatever. I mean, I'm not mad at them bringing these models out the vault, but if I had to criticize this sneaker, it kind of just looks like everything else from the Adidas Originals vault. But that doesn't mean they're a bad looking sneaker. Here you got another low top version, which they're calling a dress shoe. So these are cool or whatever, not bad looking sneakers, but are they moving the needle for Adidas like that? I would say probably not much so. Now, speaking of Adidas, they did recently just drop the Crazy 2.0. This is the All-Star colorway, which I think this is the second time we've seen the Crazy 2.0s come out. They did drop them recently in that metallic silver colorway. Now, this was the second signature model of Kobe Bryant, you know, during his time with Adidas. This is a model which has been notoriously joked on for looking like a toaster oven. I remember as a kid, I thought these joints were trash. Kind of a futuristic look, but maybe we could say that they were a little ahead of their time. Like, how do y'all feel about these sneakers and how they've aged throughout the years? I would still say they look ugly as hell, but I know a lot of people still have nostalgia for these sneakers, which are currently available right now as we speak via Adidas for $160. So that was Kobe's first signature line with Adidas. I guess some people would even say this is the sneaker which made him move over to Nike, because as y'all know, the Crazy 3.0 is actually never officially released with Adidas, which brings us here to the latest Kobe Total Orange. This is the Protro 6, one of the sneakers which has been a smash hit for Nike. When you talk about Nike basketball, I guess it would still be headlined by these Kobe releases. So these are real dope. An orange version of the Protro 6. You already know all of these Kobe's are big hits. You see everybody rocking these on the court, and I would expect this to be the same story as these are set to release coming up July 18th. So another cool pair of Kobe's, but as we take a look back here at the list, which I mentioned is full of legacy players as well as current players. Of course, as you continue down, you got Magic Johnson, you got Bill Russell, Shaq. He's doing his thing over at Reebok currently. Tim Duncan. Imagine if they were to drop some Larry Bird sneakers. Plus, Nike has some cool retro Tim Duncans in the vault as well. But as y'all see there at number 9, you got the GOAT, Wilt Chamberlain, which he's infamous for scoring 100 points in a single game. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say that boy Wilt Chamberlain, he used to rock some Chuck Taylors. It even looks like in this picture he's wearing a pair of Chuck Taylors. So I kind of have a light bulb going off in my head right now. Can y'all imagine if, like, let's say Converse was to bring out like a Wilt Chamberlain Chuck Taylor? I could already see the design right now. They should just put out like an OG classic pair of Chuck Taylors with just a huge 20,000 on the side. Because as y'all know, Wilt Chamberlain, although he was a beast on the court, some people would say he was a monster off the court as well. Even in his autobiography, he made a claim that in his lifetime, he slept with over 20,000 women. So y'all see what I'm going right here. Converse, Chuck Taylor with a big 20,000, Wilt Chamberlain edition. They could take my money on that one. So as we take a look back here at the list, when we're talking about signature sneakers, although you have some legendary players, current as well as past, MJ, he still tops the list, and to this day, Jordan still seems to be like the king of this whole sneaker game that we're all obsessed with. So speaking of Jordans, of course, we did have a DSG mystery restock, which I did mention yesterday. We were kind of speculating on which pairs would return. I called out the Grape 5s, which we did see those return. It looks like sizes are still available of those Grape 5s and pretty much a full size run via DSG if you guys missed out on that Jordan Brand Classic. But they also hit us with these Jordan 11 Bread Lows, which is a sneaker you can kind of grab right now in any of your local malls and everything. So that one wasn't too exciting. But as far as these Jordan 12 Barons, that one was interesting because this is a sneaker which originally dropped 2024. It's a play off MJ's time in the minor leagues playing baseball for the Barons. So that was a cool one that kind of was underrated last year. So kind of interesting to see that they still had leftover pairs of these, which I'm saying right now, all sizes are probably sold out. There might be like 1 or 2 pairs or something left over, but kind of interesting. The main restock was the Grape 5s, which are still available. You had some Bread 11 still left over. And then the big surprise would be these Jordan 12 Barons, a shoe which, I guess you could definitely say was underrated when they dropped last year. So that's a cool one, cool little story behind them. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of these. If I had to pick out of the 3, I'm still going Grape 5s, when you talk about these Jordans right here. So outside of those restocks, we also have another announcement which has been made. Before we jump into that, my bad, y'all, we do have another Jordan restock. So you got the Obsidian Jordan 1 Lows, which just restocked via Foot Locker. You got some small sizes as well as a couple bigger sizes, 10.5, 11, 12, 13. So that's another fan favorite from back in the day, which has been dropped now in low top form. So you got the Obsidians. You got these joints right here. Oh, they're pretty much sold out. Rookie of the Year is sold out. And then the Game Royals, size 8 through 10, on sale too. So that was kind of cool. Now, as far as the big announcement, I did mention we have a huge Jordan restock going down. This was a release which was extremely limited upon its drop, which just went down recently. And it looks like Jordan Brand, to keep the hype rolling, they have announced that the Jordan 40 will be restocking coming up August 9th. So guys, mark your calendars if you missed out on this one right here. This is a sneaker which we've talked about here a lot. When you talk about mainline Jordan releases, everybody loves their retros, but as far as mainline drops, I haven't been interested in anything since, say, the 20, the 21 or something like that. So I love the fact that Jordan Brand has put more of an emphasis on their mainline Jordan release. We're going to see some NBA players rocking these on court. Paolo down there with the Orlando Magic. We'll probably see like Trae Young, as he's a new Jordan Brand athlete, plus others. So here's the box. You got some slight little details, some different design elements from past Jordan releases, as you got the signature Nike on the back with the cement print from these Jordan 4s. Some other elements, which I can't really name right off the top of my head, but y'all see what's going on right here. A classic, futuristic, but yet simplified model. I feel like Jordan 40s, they definitely delivered. I wonder how they feel. They got to be comfortable. I'm sure they feature the latest tech. So that's a cool one to look forward to. Coming up on the 9th, retailing for $205. Jordan Brand, they knew exactly what they were doing. They started this one off with a limited release. They're going to be restocking these, and I'm guessing that future colors are probably going to be a lot more accessible for everybody to enjoy. So big moves with the Jordan 40. And, you know, if the new models aren't your thing, we have a huge Jordan Retro release. Well, I shouldn't say huge, but we got a Jordan Retro release celebrating the 35th anniversary of the Jordan 5, which we got the Jordan 5 wings. Now, y'all know back in the day, the iconic Jordan's wing poster, you know, the one spread out like that. I think Martin used to have it hung up in his room. You know, the 90s show, Martin. And then even myself, I had this poster in my room, and I'm sure a lot of other people did as well. So legendary moment, legendary photograph, which Jordan Brand has tried to capture in sneaker form, which I don't really see the correlation, but I guess this is a cool women's drop, pretty much featuring this full silver metallic color, some interesting elements as y'all see on the bottom. It does have the handprint, which that's cool and all that. I guess the big main detail would be on the toe box. How it reads, "In this family, no one flies alone." All right, that's cool, that's cool. Some other elements would include the little 10 that you guys see right here, as well as this little thing hanging from the lanyard or whatever you want to call it. So, are these like a canvas material? I ain't gonna lie, these joints, now that I'm looking at them, they're kind of trash. Wings on the back. But I guess if you're a collector, you know what I'm saying, it's probably one that you may want to consider grabbing. And for the ladies, I don't know, man. I don't know why they made this one a woman's color. Could have just dropped these as a men's pair. But whatever, regardless, drop in coming up actually tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. So it says the Air Jordan 5 celebrates a decade of breaking down barriers and helping others fly through the Jordan Wings program. A special tassel nods to the scholarship this program provides, and the shiny satin upper adds a celebratory feel worthy of a 10-year anniversary. So there you have it right there, man. Don't listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what Jordan Brand is talking about right here. So if you guys rock with these, you know what I'm saying? If you guys like them, I guess I love them. So coming up tomorrow, Jordan 5 wings. We knew about these, but I had no clue they were actually going to be dropping this soon. So let me know if you guys are rocking with these. Are y'all excited for the Jordan 40s to be restocking? And what do y'all think about this list right here? Of course, we all know MJ at number 1. There's no debate. Well, maybe some people would debate LeBron, Kobe, MJ within that top 3, but Kobe at number 11? Nah, we ain't getting down like that. But of course, I'm guessing they probably try to create some controversy to get people talking, and hey, it works. So that's all I got for you guys today. JA checking in on John Alexander TV. If you guys enjoyed today's update, smash the like button. Of course, I'll be back with y'all soon. In the meantime, stay safe, stay blessed. I'm out, y'all. Love.